What's up guys, I'm Follygon here with your daily dose of ZBrush and work motivation. In this video I'll be showing you a quick speed sculpt of your favorite mouse. It's me guys, No, get out of here. Stop it. Yes, that's right, Pikachu. In today's video I'm going to be sculpting a nice and plump Pikachu. It's kind of like if first gen fat Pikachu was actually cute. So hey, this time starting with a cube, a little bit different than normal, but the shape of this character is gonna end up more round by the time we get there. I just found it easier this time around to start with a cube, subdivide it a bunch as you can see here, and then just smooth it out. So I'm gonna try and get the eyes in there as quick as I can. Essentially my objective this time around is to do this really quick. Of course it's a speed sculpt. And I think I only spent maybe an hour on it at the most. But my main objective here is to get all parts of this character in as quick as I can, at least all the parts that are attached to it. So I'm going to throw in his eyes really quick there, and then I'm just gonna throw some quick poly paint on him and get a nice skin shader on there. I have a bunch of different skin materials that I work with, but two of the most popular that I like to use a lot are just the skin shade for, but then I have my own skin material that I like to use. And then there's also the ZBrush skin material, which you can download with a quick Google. That's an awesome material if you're just starting out and don't have any skin material that you've used in the past. So I throw the arms on there and you're gonna see me repurpose those, or not really arms, but hands I guess, just little stubby little nubs. So I'm gonna reuse those again later for the legs right here. And I just throw on a sphere for the ears, and then I just lengthen that out. And then here in a little bit, I'm just gonna merge the ears down into the body because they have a little bit too much of a sharp transition on the end, and I want it to be a more soft shape, I guess is a good way of describing it. So this mouth, it's a little bit hard to get this shape that's kind of subducting under that upper lip to give it that, not really a lip biting look, but an inflated upper lip with that lower lip kind of going up under that upper lip, if that makes sense. So it's kind of hard to get that, and I was planning on just splitting the mesh because it's a lot easier to kind of get those shapes if you just have separate parts, but instead I just decided, hey, we're doing this really quick. This is only gonna take me like an hour to do. So I'm just going to instead just mask it and pull it up under there really tight. And then when I dynamesh it later, which I just did there, that's why the ears are a part of the body as well. And that's what I was talking about for smoothing it. But when I merge those down later, I'll be able to adjust that shape, smooth that out, and get that, that subducted look under that lip as well. So by now our Pikachu is already taking shape. He's looking plump and adorable, of course. He's Pikachu. So working with just kind of going around and making sure that there's at least not too many hard shapes or hard transitions. Something like the eyes, I definitely want that to be more of a sharp transition. But any of the nub hands or the nub feet, I kind of want to soften those a bit and have that shape kind of blend into the body. Going back to the tail now, what I do with this is actually probably the quickest way that at least I can think to do this. If you have a mesh of any kind and you whip out your transpose tool, just put it on move, which is the W key to activate that, and then you can just hold the control key and click that middle circle, that middle white circle, and click and drag, and while you're holding the control key, it'll duplicate your mesh. So instead of pulling out these parts for the tail or doing any box modeling to get those shapes, it was just a lot easier, it was a lot faster in general for me to simply just pull those shapes out, duplicate them, and have them overlapping. And then I could adjust it from there, make some shape changes, and just get it closer to looking like Pikachu's tail. So at this point I'm throwing on some quick poly paint, adjusting the poly paint on the ears. I want it to be as close to Pikachu as possible, but still within this like fat chibi style of Pikachu. So you'll see me mess with some of the paint here real quick, get his two stripes on his back, and just kind of adjust his shape in general. He's starting to look more and more like a pillow, I realize, as I'm watching this back. And I would just love to have a giant plump Pikachu pillow that looks just like this guy. That would be awesome. Going back to the tail and the body, just messing with the transition between the colors to get kind of a softer edge there. And then I do the same thing with the stripes on his back. I want to sharpen that point. It's not really going to be super visible, but it's going to be like a 3/4 view for the render. Moving on to this little question mark, the quickest way that I could think to do this was just throw 2 spheres, grow it in, duplicate it using that same technique from before, that control-click drag with the transpose move tool. And then from there I just shaped it with the move brush and twisted it up into a little question mark. Scaled it down, threw it over on the side, added some black paint to it, and went from there. Next up is the Pokeball. Really simple, just 2 spheres. I inflated the 1 sphere over top of it, cut a little strip out of the middle, painted the top side red, bottom side white, and then I took a cylinder, which is that button that's in the middle of the Pokeball, and I threw that in the middle, scaled it up a little after I duplicated it, and then just subtracted that from the Pokeball as well. So it's a top shell, a bottom shell, that middle black sphere, which is how I get that line all the way around it, and then just the Pokeball button. So that's a really simple way to make a Pokeball. If you want to try that, it takes like 5 minutes. Finally, the last thing I do is go into Transpose Master, add a little asymmetry to Pikachu, give him a tiny bit of a pose here, leaning forward, scrunched down just a little bit, so he's kind of looking at the Pokeball. I end up repositioning the Pokeball a little bit later, actually post in the render in Photoshop, and I make the Pokeball look like it's being thrown at Pikachu. So before I go, question for you all, who's your favorite first gen starter Pokemon? I'm gonna go with the obvious answer, Charmander, because he is awesome. He's my favorite. Let me know down in the comments who your favorite is, and maybe I will sculpt them next. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the quick video. Hope you learned something new, maybe got a little inspired, and I will see you next time.